welcome to episode 62. I'm your host, Adam Ross, and to my virtual left, Tyler. What's going on, bud?
Hey, Adam. Hey, everybody. How are you guys tonight?
Man, what an amazing weekend so far. We got a whole bunch of people jumping on board. What is going on? Man, we have a great show planned for everybody. Definitely looking forward to sharing it with you guys. And
Yes.
man, we know that something special dropped. I got a whole new row here now.
Right.
A whole new row. It's awesome.
Yeah, we're going to show it off a little bit today.
Yeah. And we got definitely some interesting things to talk about. We got a big bomb we're going to drop today, too. I'm looking forward to it. And basically, only a little bit of news tonight, which I'm surprised.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. We're light on the news.
It'll be quick. It'll be quick for the news.
Well, that way it leaves more for some fun stuff we're going to talk about.
Absolutely. And I'm looking forward to the top end of the show because it's going to be brand spanking new for this guy. So definitely looking forward to that. But you want me to pull up the picture first?
Yeah, let's get into the news. And if you wouldn't mind pulling up the graphics. So, we, it might be a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, Adam and I talked about the power brushes, right? So there they are. So we still have the power brushes; those never went anywhere. But we've got the skins. So we've got two skins. So when you buy these, that comes in the pack of 4. So you get 4 different brush heads, and you get 2 skins. So when you purchase those, you save 25% if you add the skins to that. So again, have all the different themes like we normally do. We're showing the hot rod right now, but green streak and all those types of stuff. Reaper, Patriot, so Dragon, so all those are still available. And if you order it with your brush order, you save 25%. So take a look at that. Adam and I are going to get our hands on some of those and show them off next week. So
and hopefully on how to properly apply them too.
Well, yeah, we better actually research that ahead of time so we don't just start slapping stickers on things and
like we did in the past. Yeah.
So yes, I've learned a lot about that.
Yeah, this is where you'll see the 25% savings if you buy it with the brushes. So you got the Dragon, Green Streak, Hot Rod, Patriot, and of course the Reaper, which I see Mr. Ghost on here, and I know he is one of the most dialed Reaper fans we've got for sure.
Oh, as we saw 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Oh yeah. Thank you. Yeah. No, those are going to be really sweet. I'm looking forward to putting those on here in the next episode 63. And so other part of news, unrelated, is a lot of you guys like myself shop on AMain, and you probably already know from us talking that Cow RC has products on AMain. So we just wanted to announce that we've got the small carbon series has been added. A small solder mat's been added. The Graphite right here has been added to the AMain repertoire of awesome RC products, amongst tons of others. So those are just kind of some of the new ones that have joined the AMain website. So if you're like me, you start buying a bunch of stuff and you start accumulating points. So it's a nice way to kind of use some of those points on your Cow RC products. So take a look at those and keep following because we always are adding more products to them. AMain loves Cow RC products.
Yeah, and if you just type in Cow RC in the AMain search engine, it is pretty thorough with the search that comes up. AMain has one of the best search engines in the hobby.
It is really good.
Yeah, it's pretty robust. So
their website's really nice.
It's not too bad. And obviously, since he was talking about the new MOO-Slick Graphite, if anybody's been using it, please comment because we definitely want to pull that up. I've been seeing it all over the fan page. I know Bobby was doing some. I know that there was Zach was doing some. It was definitely pretty good. So
the pre-order was huge. Pre-order was huge on it, and then after the pre-order was over and the product was actually in, got a lot of sales. So we know there's a ton of cans flying around out there. I know you haven't had your hands on them too long, but hopefully what Ab and I talked about on previous Cowtech episodes, kind of got you guys thinking about how to use it. But we want to see how you're using them. And so Adam and I are going to talk about, kind of getting into our next topic here. We're going to start using this product on some different components, different RCs. which was different than I've used it in testing. So looking forward to kind of seeing how that works.
Yeah, no, for sure. And obviously, I this week am going to be testing out the graphic in my most exciting trial. We've been running the dirt oval, and I have a Traxxas modified that I've completely stripped apart, cleaned out with
nice.
the degreaser, and basically I am just using graphite in my diff. So it's going to be a dry lubricant in the diff. And right now, the rotation is insane. So I'm looking forward to it. I definitely think it's going to be a game changer, and I can't wait to try it. Now, I personally have not even tried the official pink can. I'm still working off my demo one. So everybody that I've spoken to, including Tyler, has said that the flow control is better. Now, the one nice thing that he offers is the high flow and the restricted flow. Get used to it. And there were so many tips and pictures on how to apply it, especially with the Mr. Ghost show, how he was using the cardboard in the background and stuff like that. Amazing tips to make sure that you don't get any overspray.
Yeah, I mean, like what I started doing is, so I'm using restricted flow, and you can see I've got the tube on my can right here. And so, when we were testing these, it did not have this nozzle on, and that was part of the testing, right? That's a lot of actually what we do a lot of the time is test the container that actually comes in. And speaking of the container, this comes with almost 13 ounces of pure graphite. So, I mean, you get it is a more expensive of the MOO-Slick line, but you get a ton of product out of it. You're not going to burn through this, like you do some of the other products. It is a lot more concentrated. So, but anyways, going back to the tube, I'm using a restricted tube, and it also goes to what you're going to use it for, right? Like, so I'm going to show you how to use it on some of our micro parts, right? And so I don't need to go, really even the bigger wide volume tube. I'm going to the restricted, and definitely want to use a tube regardless. This product is great, but it comes out differently, right? Like it's kind of like a paint, so it comes out black. So you're going to know when you hit some overspray. So you want to make sure you kind of control that, so you save your mats and everything else that's around you.
And the one thing that we want to mention is it is 100% micronized graphite,
Right.
which is very few in the industry will actually be able to pull that off. It's highly resistant to grease, oil, and water. I think I told you guys a couple episodes ago that I was actually using it in my diff. I actually tried one less gear. Worm gear in my diff, and I don't know, in my brain, it hurts my brain to think of how it works, but it did, and there was no damage, nowhere. I was able to get. It's so weird. Like, why would it not bind under load? I don't get it. But anyways, it worked. It did give me mid corner out rotation, which is something I'm always looking for, because always when I go to give it gas coming out of a turn, the rear end wants to follow. This time it actually tracked with the front end, so I wasn't battling it. Yeah, mid corner out. Initial turn in was it was different because I have a pillow ball car. Normally, I have tons of turn in, right?
Sure.
So I think getting the back to finally match the front with the graphite and pulling that one gear out, it was awesome.
That's
and
strange.
I definitely recommend it. It hurt my brain trying to think of
it is so strange to think about.
Yeah.
It must be that weight you're shaving.
Yeah, but
1 gram.
Yeah, now that I got the actual flow control, like I said, this Wednesday I'm going to do the testing. I will post about it all up on the fan page, of course, and it will be amazing. I hope that it's just him that has the bad reception tonight. Yeah, hopefully everybody else can hear us. But I did bump your mic up to the loudest it's ever been.
Oh, really? Okay, let me change maybe my position's wrong here.
But hopefully you can hear us loud and clear, and hopefully
try that better.
And the format I notice is brand new in our software as well. So just let us know. We do appreciate the feedback on all of that. And what have you guys found that? Okay, yeah, I was hoping it was just the one person.
Yeah, okay, good.
But we definitely want to hear from the users, because obviously a ton of the product has moved off the Cow RC shelves. You guys are slowly getting it into your hands, and Mr. Ghost has sprayed it on the belt crank pins of the sand rail. I will let
Oh,
perfect,
yeah, that's right.
especially going into the sand. That would be one of those things that you definitely want to protect against. Sand gets into everything, and
Oh, it's the worst.
oh yeah, definitely wreaks havoc on the RC stuff as
That was
well.
like one of my introductions into RC. My first RC was a Slash, and I took it to like a volleyball court, and sand
Oh
volleyball court, and just bashed it around. And man, that that was a catastrophe. That was before I knew anything about Cow RC, so it was just a mess.
yeah,
It took me so long to get all that sand out of there.
I could only imagine. Yeah, and we didn't have all our blasters. We didn't have all our cleaning stuff.
No, gosh,
So
that
yeah,
was 7 years ago or whatever, and yeah, it was. I didn't know anything.
yeah, it's amazing how time flies. But yeah, definitely post up all your pictures. I know there's been a lot of comments, a lot of questions about how the product was being used. And I know that everybody can share their experience, so everybody can level up at the same time. So far, the slip shafts are awesome. I applied some on the CVDs. Me too. That's what was the first thing I
Yeah,
did.
that's a good one. Yeah,
Waiting to check the wear, but so far it's awesome application. Does take some practice. Yeah, I agree with that. I can't wait to try the official with the new nozzle. It's supposed to have better control and stuff like that. And you know what? We're gonna see it live when Tyler does the
that's
little
right.
demo for us, because he already has the next segment ready. So as
That's
you
right.
can see
I'm ready to
beside
go,
him,
man. I'm not wasting time.
yeah, as you can see beside him, he has a little micro.
Right.
He's already on his carbon mat, getting ready for the upgrades, the Cow RC Love, and definitely going to be super cool. Obviously, I'm going to open my box. My box here. Let me show this off real quick.
Well, yeah, and so like what Adam and I, so like what we're getting into is, we're both talking micros, right? We're kind of in our realm. I'm doing the crawler scene, Adam's doing the racing scene, and so what we're going to be doing here, and we haven't quite figured out everything and all the details yet, but this is really, I'll call it part one of many to come throughout the rest of this year of Adam and I rebuilding micros using all the Cow RC products. So if you remember, beginning of the year, we did the Operation 11 Charlie charity truck. And so Ab and I swapped the truck back and forth and used all the Cow RC products to basically build it up and make it more durable, as well as adding upgrades and things like that. And there's Adam's micro right there. So what we're going to do that is kind of start doing that again. So for two different trucks, there's not a charity involved right now. But what we are going to do is we are going to give these two RCs away
Oh yeah,
at the end of this build, right? So we're really kind of just starting right now, and we figured, hey, with the MOO-Slick Graphite coming out, why not start? It is a micro builder's dream, right? you can use it on 10 scale stuff, like pillow balls and Stevie joints, things like that.
mm-hmm.
But in the micro world, you don't need all of that friction. Friction's bad. If you put too much grease, it's hard on the motors, hard on everything. So it's nice to have some variables in the lubrication. And as I'm going to show you, because believe me or not, what I'm going to show you is how these gears came out from the factory. So it's basically what I'm saying is you need to add
Yeah.
some grease and lubrication to these things. They are not ready to run. They're just capable, but not
Yeah,
ready.
not ready. So you're gonna switch your screen up? All
Yeah.
right. So we lost your audio when you switched the camera?
Yeah, so let me do this a different way here. So I will just take it the old school way that I know how. Can you hear me okay now?
Absolutely
Okay,
perfect.
well, let's do it this way. So here we go. So what I've got here is an SEX 24, and I've got the rear diff here. So I took this out of the box. I have not messed with it at all, other than just kind of getting it prepped and ready to show you guys. So taking the diff cover off here, and really, there's not much here. And my admittedly, my camera is not the greatest, but it's got a little bit of lubricant in there, but I mean, it is so few.
I can
It's just
barely
not really.
tell. Yeah, I can
You
barely
can't tell. I
tell.
mean, my camera's not the greatest, but yeah, it's a extremely light coating. So anyway, so I'm going to show you a couple different things. So what I'm going to do here is I'm doing the ultralight grease coating on this one. So for the diff, it needs a little bit more. It is a metal gear, versus the transmission, which I'll show you. It's plastic gear. So at least the worm gear and the spur gear are metal. So what I'm going to do is give it a little bit of squirt. And again, I got the pressure reducing or the flow reduction nozzle on it. So this actually is the higher flow one compared to the lower one. But again, you're getting it in here, get it moved in here a little bit, and then the worm gear, spur gear, all that good stuff. And the nice thing is you can add it in here. I mean, I'm hardly adding any at all, right? Just because of the size of this. I mean, this is going to last for a while. So, and before we had the ultralight grease coating, we were using udder butter, which still works. You can do that. It just has a lot more restriction on it, and and more friction, just because it's a more solid grease. But for 24 scale, I feel like the ultralight grease is kind of the way to go in my mind.
So Raymond E. Tanner actually did a little bit thicker, the next level, which would be the udder butter. But
Okay, yeah.
this was one of the tricks that we learned from our fast drag racing friend. And he actually mixed udder butter with this to get the exact viscosity that he wanted. And he did that live on our show. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, and I mean, and there's nothing wrong with the udder butter at all. I mean, I used it before. I used to really be in the 24 scale. Geez, when was that? Probably like 3 or 4 years ago. And it was before we had the ultralight grease. And I was putting udder butter in all of those, and they work perfectly fine. It's just now we're getting to we're really taking a great thing and we're perfecting it. We're making greatness into even more great, right? So it's just kind of getting that extra step, and when you have the options, take advantage of them for sure.
And you'll see the udder butter and the light grease. When the light grease actually sets and you give it time to cure, it turns into a light, super light coating of udder butter almost, and it is awesome.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
Zach, I gotta say, I've been loving your crawler stuff now. And
yeah, you are into it.
I know, maybe that's why I'm scared, bro. I'm actually scared. I was talking to you off camera, and I'm nervous. I'm a little nervous. But Tyler would probably know better than me because, man, I'm scared of wet weather and any RC so far. But I'm about to throw down.
Yeah, Zach, I prefer the udder butter than the ultralight grease. I think it's just for that waterproof aspect on a 10 scale crawler. That's what I would prefer is the udder butter. I think the ultralight grease, it holds up to an extent, but just not as well as the udder butter. So that'd be my choice. But when you get into the, and actually I have not messed with micros on a water. And in water, it's usually been indoors for most of my stuff, so I couldn't speak to the water and a micro size. But when it comes to 10 scale, I'm a udder butter fan.
So obviously, with what we're going to be talking about a little bit later, Zach is beating me to the punch, and I definitely see all his posts. He is going crawler crazy at the moment. And I'm like looking my chops right now because I know
the red cat truck is all over.
I know it's about to go down. So definitely good. Yeah, no, Nick, we definitely been having a lot of fun with all the products and sharing them with you. So now that you got the first one out of the way, you want to jump into
yes.
This is the diff, right?
That is correct. That was the diff. I'm going to do the transmission here now. So let me switch over. And so I'm going to apply the MOO-Slick Graphite to the transmission. So, gears are a little bit more fine, right? So let me get my hand out of the way here. So a little bit more fine gears, and they're plastic. So again, this is the same SCX24, and I'm going to coat these with the MOO-Slick Graphite. So the brand new product we've been talking about, right? And I've definitely got the restricted nozzle on it because I don't want this stuff going all over the place. And as people have been saying, I think Tom made a comment, you want to shake it up. So make sure you're shaking stuff. It comes up. Yeah. I mean, it comes out very, very fine. So again, I'm going to hit this right here. See, there you go. See, and actually, I hadn't shaken it up enough, so came out a little bit clear. But that's where I'm doing. So that's coming out as, it's almost like a paint, right? So, and what this is going to do is it's going to basically instantly cure. And I put a little bit too much on, but it's going to instantly cure and allow you to have a nice lubricated gear here. So there you go. It's kind of hard to focus in with all that blackness, but yeah. So this, to me, the graphite with a micro is the right way for for the transmission, just because of the gear type and construction. And as you know, I didn't really stop to show you, obviously no lubrication on this one. So both of these gears, I did not touch either of them, didn't wipe anything off, didn't spray any electric cleaner degreaser, nothing like that. Just as it is. So yeah, would that have gotten through, maybe a couple weeks of playing? Sure. Without grease? Yeah, maybe. But at some point it's going to get hot. It's going to get locked up and you're going to be disappointed in your new purchase. So it's best to go through these things. That's why Adam and I are talking about, this series and going through RC, whether it's, and this applies whether it's a micro or not. We chose micros just to make it something different.
Yeah.
But that's what we're looking for, right? Like we want to make sure that you've got, the right tools for your new hobby grade model, right? So you're not disappointed, you're not, on a trail stuck somewhere, you're not at a competition and you can't finish it. There's nothing worse. I mean, Adam and I do competitions all the time, and my biggest fear is not being able to finish. I don't want to travel. I travel to Florida, New Jersey, all over the place, and the last thing I want to do is not finish. And especially when it comes to maintenance. So like for me, that's the most important thing. What skills, that's a very distant second. I can't fix skills by buying stuff. But I can make sure at least I finish. So that's always why we take this so seriously, because it really does help. And, these vehicles are not inexpensive, and you add more and more things to them.
Yeah.
And you just want to protect that investment. So what Adam and I are going to do is keep kind of going through this series, with different products as we go through. But, since we got this graphite just released, that's why we wanted to start here.
Yeah. And obviously, so far what I've tested the graphite on, I haven't seen any excessive wear. Now, obviously, I'm in a racing situation where I'm rebuilding diffs, usually after every event, depending on the temperature and track conditions, because I'm always changing the fluid types just to make sure that my car is optimal for the track conditions that are presented that weekend. Also, with the pillow balls, maintaining it with the graphite has been phenomenal. And I actually have the new inserts that go on the pillow ball as well. And that has been treated with graphite. And so far, they've been phenomenal. They've been holding up. So that's plastic and metal with graphite in the middle rubbing together, and the wear has been awesome. What I'll do is maybe on next episode, I will take apart my 8 scale to show you what the difference is between the pillow ball and the actual plastic cup, just because I've been using graphite now probably, I'm going to say close to 2 months since I got my experimental can. So it's been awesome. And I know Zach gave me a few ideas to test different stuff as well. So I've been putting it on everything. And like I said, this Wednesday, I am testing just graphite in my Traxxas heavy duty diff. And I can't wait to try it. It should be
that's
be
cool.
good.
I like that you're trying new stuff on that.
Yeah, you got to be experimental.
Exactly. Well, one thing we talked about before, and I wanted to show you real quick while I've got the graphite out is, and this will apply to 10 scale as well as micros, is lubricating your drive shafts with the graphite. So again, this doesn't have a whole lot of movement, right? But it's got some. Just spray a little bit in there too. Spray a little bit on the CV joint there. There we go. That way, you've got some lubrication here when the shaft's moving in and out. So you got your gear lubricated, you got your shaft lubricated, and you're safe to go. And so I think the graphite for the drive shaft is fantastic. I think that's again 10 scale. I think is totally appropriate. CV joints on 10 scale is totally appropriate for this, for that application. And it's just, another one of those that I think applies to both 10 scale and micro size.
And Nick, for the 8 scale nitro, yes, definitely. That's what we use it on. I've been using it on my kids' nitro truggy and nitro buggy applications, and it has been amazing. So we use CVDs and we use universals. So depending on, like I said, the track conditions, we switch in between the two. Sometimes we run CVDs in the front, universals in the back, or vice versa, depending on how much grip and rotation the track's offering. And it's just cool to have that type of tuning option on hand. It's real quick and easy to swap out, and you actually have a noticeable difference on the car. So Tom was saying have hide wipes with you when you're doing the carbon fiber.
Yeah,
I agree, because the hide wipes will eat through it real quick as long as you don't leave it on your hands too long for staining purposes. Cow RC for the win. Yes, it would definitely be good for 8 scale universals and CVDs. RCX, I love it. Tyler, try it without the tube when unassembled. You want the simple spray nozzle like painting. No tube, it can be cleaned with a degreaser and reapplied.
There we go.
Tip from the big gun himself. Here, hold on, let me get it full screen.
I do need to shake it up more because it's coming out a little wet. But as you can see, it's like paint, right?
Yeah.
So it sounds just like paint. Get this thing sprayed up a little bit here. Give it a little shot here. So let me turn my camera so you can see what I'm seeing. There we go. Here we go. So yeah, so it comes out, a little stronger, right? So again, you do want to have a hide wipe or cardboard or something like that. Even though I'm using the carbon series mat, it's not, it's not invincible. It still can leave a stain, right? Yeah, and you got to overspray and stuff like that. So you hit it with, got away from me there. There we go. So again, you don't need a whole lot, and it dries almost instantaneously. So you're going to have this, and you're really ready to go. Just let dry, for a few seconds, and it's ready to rock and roll.
So Brian, I would say no, it does not replace it just quite yet. It depends on what you're trying to protect and why. Obviously, for the racer in mind, I'm trying to get peak performance, and I found that the graphite might give me that little smidgen of performance. Once I do back-to-back testing, I will let you know, because I too was using the ultralight grease and found it phenomenal. So obviously this is the new kid on the block right now, and we're just trying to figure out what is going to be the best application. That's why I'm going out Wednesday. I'm testing it back-to-back. On the previous time out, I only had the ultralight grease in it. No udder butter in my diff whatsoever, and it was already free. But on the bench test alone shows that the graphite has that extra rotation in it. So we'll see. Definitely going to be fun to try. Gotcha. Thanks for asking, because I really do want to use the oils on the pins in a tractor, right? Where the graphite is a complete dry lubricant. So that's why I've been using it on my pillow balls, and it doesn't attract all of the stuff in there. It is definitely one of those items that has helped keep, well, obviously I run 8-scale e-buggy. My son runs e-buggy, e-truggy, nitro buggy. So there's 5 kits right there. My daughter runs the e-buggy. So there's 6 kits right there we got to try and maintain on top of both me and my daughter's short courses. So typically we're running 8 kits every single round.
That's amazing.
Thank God I got Cow RC on my side. The biggest thing is the Cow RC mats keeping us organized in between rounds. That is the best thing. The no static cling, all the things about the graphite so far that the team and everybody on the Cow RC fan page has been testing has all been positive. So obviously it can stain. We got to bring that up because you want to make sure you protect your investments as well. I've been doing mine in a little cardboard cutout, and I know others have been doing that as well. Yes, it's definitely a lot of upkeep. And if you check out Adam Ross or Ross Racing, you'll see all the shenanigans when me and the family are out at events. And we definitely roll up in style. And thanks to Cow RC and a couple of my other sponsors, we always have the spot hooked up. And everybody comes and stops by and says hi. And we always have a good time at the track. I love it there. Tyler, what is going on?
Hey.
Definitely having some fun. So now that Tyler is done cleaning up his mess, I'm going to see if I can switch my camera over, and I am going to bust open my micro for the very first
You get to
time.
play now.
Yeah, live on camera. Okay, I'm going to switch it over. Just let me know if you can still hear my mic. Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
We can hear you.
Right. So obviously, I got the Carbon series all set up here because it's a lot smaller. So I'm going to get rid of this one first. And then here, look at I just got to do the swipe. Look at that. First time the whole team's been assembled. I love it. And then I'm going to actually throw down the magnetics here. And slide this up. And now for those of you who've been following along, this is a little something special here. Blah, little sneak peek there.
I like that.
Little sneak peek here. And then we will get into the micro. So
what's that going to go in?
What's that?
What's that going to go in?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Should be good. So I have yet to open the micro because I wanted to do it live for you guys since we are going to be doing this build together and we are going to be giving it away. So I definitely thought it would be cool to see what's in the box together because I've never even opened up a micro. So obviously you get the controller 2.4. Hopefully it's already bound. Actually, it's pretty big. I got decent sized hands.
Yeah, it's not usually a micro size controller.
Bigger than I expected. So you get the charger, and it comes with the batteries, a couple handles and stuff like that. So very, very cool. All the stuff that it comes with. And now let's see. Of course, it comes all locked in.
Is this the first time you've ever touched a micro RC before?
Yeah, this is small guy for me. Super small guy. But it's going to be fun and exciting for sure. So let me just cut this off here. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Boom. We got. Wow, this is the perfect size for this mat, eh?
Yeah, it is. That's a cool looking rig. I like that.
It is sharp. Now, I didn't see how I got the body to open there. Oh, it's just,
there you go. That's good.
It's just Velcro. It's so cute.
Yeah, you don't need much of these little ones.
So, obviously, the links are just snap-on plastic links for the steering and for the front. This is the transmission. It looks like it has a receiver / ESC in one. Looks like it has a pretty decent sized little battery there. And the motor, geez Louise, I think that this might be the smallest motor I have ever seen. Jeez.
Yeah, the connector's bigger.
Yeah, this is small. Now, I'm wondering if the shocks... Yeah, it looks like the shocks just pop on as well. It doesn't look like they're thing.
They probably don't have any fluid in them.
Yeah, I hope they're oil filled. But let me see. So all the things that I saw online, this was extremely easy to take apart. So let's dive right in.
Yeah, I haven't played with this. So that's the Losi Mini T you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about them.
It looks super cool.
So everyone thinks that you're going to put that big Castle motor and ESC in this little thing.
Oh, could you imagine? That would be so killer.
It would be bigger, I think. You'd have to have a trailer for it, I think.
Like actually, zoom in. Look at how small and tiny the screw is. That's screw number one. So I'm going to move this up so hopefully you can see. Can you see it on the screen now?
Yes.
Oh, perfect.
Well, that's why when I was doing my disassembly, I forgot to show how I was taking apart, this with all the screws. I use the 8-section part tray for this little thing, just to kind of keep all the screws. I mean, for micro, if these things get lost in any type of carpet, all these little screws. So it's definitely important to have magnetics down, keep these things organized, because I mean they look all identically the same size. So as Adam's going to find out, he's throwing them all on the mat there, and he's going to get them all mixed up.
Yeah, I'm not even going to mark them. I'm hardcore like that.
Just going to town.
Yeah, it's part of the excitement. This screw is so small, I might not even have a tool for it.
Well, that could be. Yeah, what is it? You need a 0.050.
Okay. Look at, I had to go into my backup MIP section.
Oh, yeah, you got it. Yep, there you go.
Wow. This may be the first time this tool has ever been used.
I was gonna say
maybe for a shock,
maybe a bread screw.
Like yeah, I don't even know.
Yep.
All right, there we go. So that was fairly easy. Now, does the motor come?
The wild things came apart.
Yeah. Beauty. Look at that. Already out. Okay, so I am going to keep it separated. 4 screws for the back. Boom. In one tray there. And then look at that. I have it already out. So one screw, I think we'll get the
that's the motor. Yeah. Man, that looks like the same size motor that this crawler. Is that an 88T? Does it say?
Is it a rock? Yeah. It says rock, caution, hot, low C. It's 1870. I don't know if you can see that on the camera there.
Okay.
So this
one's like a 1217. It's like a 88 turn. It looks almost the same size.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see what this transmission looks like. You guys are going to see it live on here, so there's no camera tricks or anything like that.
Right.
You guys get it raw, dog, real quick. I'm blown away that it's this small of a screw, though. Like 0.5.
They are small. Well, it's like you don't need Loctite for these little guys, because you would never get them out.
Oh no. But definitely, I gotta say the quality is pretty good for how micro these are. I'm definitely impressed with that. And it's a good thing I can go and watch the replay on the show so I can ensure to get it back together. I'll just play it.
That's a good point. Right. Yeah, that's the hard part about doing this live, is you don't go through all your typical processes.
Yeah. All right, I think I got 4 screws left, and we are ready to pull this bad boy apart. And you guys are going to get to see it same time I get to see it, and we will have some fun. Obviously, we are going to give it the Cow RC love, and I think that I am going to use the graphite as well, because it being the T, I'm going for performance. So definitely want to have all that performance locked in.
Yeah.
I can't believe how small the shock tower is too.
It's amazing how like time. I mean, just the technology to get basically everything you've got in a 10 scale into a 24 scale is pretty impressive.
Very impressive. And it looks like it's like the size looks correct. Like it doesn't look like it's like weird. You know what I mean? Like
it's like uniformly scale.
Yeah, I feel like I'm working on a decently sized kit for sure.
So Scott says he's headed home to work on some micros.
There you go.
We've got the addiction is real. They do. I mean, these micros. I had like 6 of them or something like that. I had built like an indoor crawler course and little stunt track and stuff like that, and it was fun. It's cool. They're really fun to play with in the winter, in my opinion, because it's just you can do a lot with it inside the house, and you can just take what I did is I built courses out of, so when you get your work mats and you have the little inserts that go in your parts compartments, I always save those and use
Yeah.
them, for different various things. But what I was doing is building obstacles out of them, and on a piece of cardboard just for micros. So it was kind of a nice utilization for those.
All right, so we are a few screws away from ripping this puppy apart, and I haven't seen any grease yet. There's been no
Yeah.
lubrication. The drive shafts are drier than a popcorn fart. I don't even see any lubrication on the bearings. We're going to have to use some PTFE on that for sure. The oil will just have a field day on that. And if you go through and do all the bearings, this kit will love you. So I'm going to do that because I have done it on all of my kits and it has been phenomenal. So the products that we're going to use on this are going to be amazing. Okay, so, all right. My camera, I don't know how good it'll zoom in, but
Here, let me get myself off of here.
you can see a little bit of grease on the bigger gear, but the tinier gears, there is literally a drop. So we're definitely going to go through, clean it out with the greaser, of course, first. So we're going to clean it up with that, and we will get it all ready to rock and roll. And then, of course, I'm going to try the graphite in here. I feel that the graphite will give me the performance I'm looking for, and we will get that back together and better than ever. Now, I do have to go through the rest of it. I do want to check to see if they're oil-filled shocks, but in the meantime, we will definitely go through and assemble it. Yeah, you can see there's more grease on the case than there is inside anywhere else. So they got it on the housing really good. But what I'm going to go through is I'm going to go through and do all the bearings as well, because the bearings with the the oil with the PTFE definitely will help with all the little resistance, and you want to get as much out of this little guy as you possibly can, and I think that will help. I believe one of the records is 13 miles an hour or something like that, and I feel we will be right there and close when we can. But definitely going to be a lot of fun building up that micro. So you guys are going to have to stay tuned for all the micro T and crawler micro action coming up when we do more stuff. Like, we're going to actually go through these kits, do everything we can Cow RC related to them, and just kind of show off the content and doing it step by step for you guys. I'll be doing the T, he'll be doing the crawler, and I think you'll see two different applications on how we can actually do it. But I think we spent enough time on that. I want to bring up a graphic real quick. One thing is we got to give something away. So
that's true. We have a couple things. Yes.
Yeah. There's
appropriate.
There's one thing. So we'll be giving something away. So hashtag micro for your chance at 2 awesome prizes tonight. There we go. All right. And then I want to bring up one other graphic. And some of you guys may know, some of you guys might not know, but this is going to be huge. Ready for this?
What are you talking about?
Boom!
There it is.
The Great Lakes Gauntlet, 9th annual, sponsored by yours truly, Cow RC, platinum sponsored too, man. So
that's right.
Definitely super cool. Looking forward to going to my first ever crawler event ever in the history of Ross Racing. Oh, I guess it'll be Ross Crawling now. I don't know. We'll have to come up with a new slogan.
You have to rebrand yourself.
Something, yeah. So obviously, I'm super excited. I get to finally meet Tyler in person.
That's right.
And on top of that, I get to go out of my comfort zone and in his world. So it is going to be so much fun. What can you guys expect? Who's going? Is anybody going?
Yeah, that's right.
Comment.
I'd like to
Yeah.
go on.
So I hope to see a whole bunch of you guys out there. I heard last time they had a great showing, tons of people packed. So from me and Tyler, what are we going to be doing there? Well, we're going to be there demoing the best maintenance products on the planet. We are going to be there set up in style, vendors row. Man, he hooked us up. Cow RC is rolling in there, going to try and give you guys the best possible Q&A session live. We are going to have the big easy up set up. We're going to have a clean station. We're going to have like a show off station. And if you guys are, willing, we would love to do a little segment on your particular use of Cow RC products. So if you want to come over and chit chat with me and Tyler live, you never know. That content too might make it onto the show. We are just going to go there, show off. Oh, I want you to go so bad too, bud. It would be awesome. But we want to demo. We want to show off. We want you to bring over your dirty rig, and we want to transform it right in front of your eyes and kind of like send you off in awe. Also, we're not selling anything. There is going to be a special code for that weekend, and Heath was nice enough to give it a crazy discount. So once we get to the actual event, we will be able to share that code with you, the viewers, and anybody there live and in person, because let's face it, we want to see people out there. I'm super curious about this whole crawler scene. I've talked to a lot of cool people in the industry. And now that I see Zach going down the rabbit hole, Tyler knows I was talking to him off camera. It's pretty crazy. I'm not going to lie. And definitely one of those things that I'm thinking, okay, I just need this one part, and then it transforms into two parts, and then those two parts, I need two parts to go with the two parts, and all of a sudden,
you had enough trouble just figuring out which initial rig to buy. I mean, you must have been thinking about this for months. And it wasn't an easy one.
No, and I hope that the associated one is a decent starter rig, and I really like that the paint is scratchable on the outside and it leaves that patina look from the inside. So that kind of intrigued me. The capabilities definitely were cool. And I've been a semi AE fanboy for a while because of one of the local heroes, Awesome Al Horn. He does the Factory Tracks racing team for all the young upcoming stars like future stars and stuff like that. And AE has always backed them. When I got to go to the old school race, AE had a huge presence, obviously, since they had the RC10 pan car, some of the original fast guys in RC. So it was super cool to see AE back then. And let's face it, AE just dropped another 2 10 scale kits. I think they're up to version 8 now or something like that. So it's definitely cool to check that out and be a part of. And I just like the look of it. And I feel that with the 3D printed micro set from Cow RC that Jeremy Kilborn prints off for us, I feel like I can make it. I'm going to make it my own. Like, it's going to be fun, man. Yeah. I noticed that the crawler community, not one looks the same. And I'm down with that.
Right.
The one thing that I am still questioning, and when I get my kit in, I got to look at the wheel, rim, and tire package. I think that is one thing that I have to kind of lock in, because I feel that that is where the competitiveness will be.
Yeah, you got to get that weight down low. Get some heavy wheels and some sticky tires.
Yeah. But if you guys want to comment, is there anything you would like us to bring to the event? Because we're still in the planning process. We have a couple things that we're going to be announcing show to show now. We're definitely going to be hyping it up. The content is going to be epic. Who doesn't want a clean crawler? Who doesn't want to use the best cleaning products on the property? And who doesn't want to come over and hang with me and Tyler live and in person, man? I can't wait. I know that.
Well, arms are going to be tired that weekend, I bet.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Just some
I got
cleaning.
introduced to Cow RC live at Psycho Nitro Blast from Jeremy Mosier, and ever since then, I've been a huge Cow RC fanatic, and definitely looking forward to going. Bringing the
Yeah, it's
event.
gonna be awesome. I mean, like Adam said, we're gonna be, we're gonna be at the booth, just hanging out, right?
Yep,
Talking about the products, meeting everybody. I mean, we really hope a lot of fans from the Cowtech show up, and hopefully we attract some new people to the Cowtech show. But really, the most important thing is Adam and I are going to be clean your rigs. You guys
yep.
go out, get them dirty. Get questions if you're having issues with things. Obviously, we need to keep it like gear related. Obviously, like electrical components, we're not going to be able to help you with. But the cleaning and maintenance parts. So you have even if you have a vehicle that maybe has been sitting on your shelf, and you're like, hey, how do I get this into working capacity? Bring that with you, and we'll just kind of go over it with you and show you and show the products to kind of routinely go through your vehicles. I mean, you can bring anything. You can bring a carpet car if you want to. I mean, anything works.
I do
But
know carpet.
we're there for the crawlers for sure, but we're happy to help with anything.
Yeah, and obviously we're just going there to support a great event, and two, we're going there to actually as a trial. This is our first kick at the can, going out to a live event,
It is,
being in with the masses, and being able to show off the best cleaning and maintenance package on the planet. Nobody can come close to what Cow Tech, or not Cow Tech, Cow RC can offer. And I can't wait to show it off live because we're willing to put our money where our mouth is. Obviously, he did the platinum support package. So we're going to be plastered
yeah.
all over the place. We're going to go there. We're going to have a good time. And we're going to make sure that we do the best job we can for all the fans. Like that is the biggest reason why we're going there and making the
Exactly.
intent, putting forth the effort. And if there is something that you can think of that you would like us to do and demo, like obviously we're going to have the power washers. I got one for tire cleaning. I got one for parts and chassis wash.
Jet
So both of those
blasters and
jet blasters we're going to have on hand. We're going to have obviously the mini blasters. I'm going to have my micro dot boxes just in case anybody needs some spare screws. I'm even stepping up my game because of a previous guest blew me out of the water with his setup, and I have to step up my dot box game for sure. But definitely,
that's right.
fans tonight.
Yeah, Barry
It'll
had
be
some
awesome.
sick stuff.
Yeah, we are going to be camping on site, so I'm looking forward to having a lot of fun. Looking forward to trying the whole crawler scene. I don't even really know what to expect quite yet, but I know that wherever I go, it's always a good time. And I'm with RC Peep, so how can it not be, right?
That's
Like
right.
it always just turns out to be amazing. It's going to be one of those things that, if successful, I shouldn't even say if, when we prove it's successful, hopefully this is just the tip of the iceberg and we're able to go to more events. Because let's face it, I know I travel all over Canada. Tyler goes to quite a few big events in the States. And if we can kind of keep this vibe going, could you imagine Tyler at like a PMB or a Wicked
Yeah.
Weekend or something like that? Like sponsored by yours truly? I would be able to hook him up, and it would definitely be a lot of fun. Oh,
Yeah.
Johnny,
No,
yeah.
for you guys who don't know where it is, it's it's just outside of Grand Rapids, Michigan. So it's about like 20 minutes east of Grand Rapids, Michigan. So if anybody's in that area, for Adam and I, we're about 4 hours away each. So it's totally
Meeting in the
an
middle.
easy drive. Yeah, it's right. We're coming from both sides. And so hopefully we can see as many of you guys there. We're gonna keep talking about the event. So anybody who's not on the show tonight sees it. I mean, we'd love to see you guys, and hopefully this is kind of like a real in person. Like Adam and I haven't met each other. We'd love to see some of you guys. I mean, there's some people on here, week after week after week, and we really appreciate it. And we'd love to shake your hand and help you clean up your vehicle.
Yeah. So he says Cowtech US Tour. Oh, geez. What about supporting the local club racers? Yeah. Honestly, if you ever been to an event that I've been at, this is literally how much tire wash I have left. And I help out everybody. Now that my local hobby shop and mobile hobby shop, Traxxas RC, carries that. I am very fortunate that I can only clean one tire just to show them and prove to them that it is super effective and that I'll put my money where my mouth is. And as soon as I do the first one, they're like, "Holy cow!" I'm like, "Yeah, all you got to do is walk over to this Easy Up and you can buy it yourself." And then the sales have been great. They've been going crazy, and it's definitely been a lot of fun. But we're going to give a few more people. We got like 57 people on board, and we only got 28 entries for the micro. But
so you and I are going to pick what products we're going to give away, right?
Right. I already know what I'm picking, so you want me to go first? Oh, yeah?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'm doing, because I'm out of it, I need more. So I'm doing the tire wash. It is definitely a must-have. Now it's in concentrate as well.
That's right. And I am doing the MOO-Clean Clear and Degreaser. So I've said this so many times on this show. This is my favorite product. And I will always say this is my favorite product until something beats it. And I don't know what can, because there's so many uses. I go through this stuff very quickly because I use it for almost everything. So, that's Clear and Degreaser is going to be my pick tonight.
Nice. Sweet. So, Nick, is this what one you're talking about supporting the local club racers? Yeah, like I said, all my local club events, I go there, I give them like the hide wipes, I do like little maintenance and cleaning for them. I always have my jet blaster plugged in, and anybody can come over and blow it off because they don't all carry air compressors. So I definitely help out all the locals for sure. You should hit up the WERC series in the Pacific. Oh, dude, I have watched the Pacific Northwest so much. I'm very jealous. You guys have some of the most badass tracks up there. One time I am definitely going to do that. Yeah, the Work Series is definitely one on my radar. So right now, the big events that Ross Racing hits up is obviously Psycho Nitro, PMB, Alabama Manufacturers Shootout, and Wicked Weekend. So just those four alone definitely are expensive because of the American dollar for me being a Canuck. But on the flip side, we just got back from the Nitro Blast. We just had the spring and the summer event. And as you can see, a couple of my trophies back here, we got the Barnyard Brawl. And there's this new sheriff in town. I cannot even catch this kid. I've been placed to second fiddle now. I've been only able to get second place. Like, this kid is fast as hell.
Time to hang it up.
He's 21. Yeah, I'm like 48. So it's definitely a thing. I'm having some fun and I'm trying to catch this kid. But the funny thing is, if I push to try and do his pace, I crash and could potentially fall back further. So if I just stay in my lane and know my role, that I'm like just not at his pace.
Second place isn't all that bad.
It's the first loser. I know, but man, it's tough. But speaking of stuff, I just want to bring this up. Roar is trying to bust into Canada, which is, if you guys don't know, it's a sanctioning body for RC racing in the United States and around the world. Well, we just had our first ever Canadian Roar Nationals. I just got to give a huge shout out to my guy, man. He killed it. Douglas Schufeld won Pro Buggy, Pro Nitro Truggy, and Pro Nitro Buggy. All three of the top classes. He TQ'd and won all of them. And he is the first Canadian off-road Roar champ. So now he just punched his ticket into the world, and I can't wait to see him do battle with some of the Americans because this kid is so deserving. I love it. I get smoked by a 15-year-old in Nitro. Is that what I just saw flip flop there?
Yeah, no, he did.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so at the Nitro Blast, there was this young Canadian from Quebec, and he was so fast. He was 13, and I think he lapped me 3 times. Like, this kid was so fast. I couldn't believe it, but it was definitely a lot of fun. So since we are giving away 2 things, I think we should give away the tire wash first, you think?
Yep, let's do it.
All right. Oh, man, I'm excited for the Great Lake Gauntlets. All right. This is for the tire wash. Good luck, everybody.
Okay.
Wildman Joe B. Congratulations.
Wildman Joe B. That's a name.
Yeah, man. Please reach out to either me or Tyler, and we will send you your tire wash. So
you can send us a Facebook message, or if you don't have Facebook, support at cow-rc.com. Reach out, and we'll get your information for shipping.
Nice. All right. Good luck, everybody. Right. Here's the one.
Next one's for the Moo Clean Clear and Degreaser.
Let's do it.
Dennis.
Wow. Crawler guy. Yeah, congratulations, Dennis. That's awesome.
Thanks, Dennis. Yeah, appreciate you being on again. He's always he's on the fans page nonstop.
He's saying Wildman is a silicone user. Definitely cool. Man,
yeah, congrats, guys.
I can't believe that we are at the limit, but I just want to thank you guys for being a part of the show. We definitely appreciate everybody tuning in.
Yes.
And for the 13 people on Instagram that put in the hashtag micro, I completely forgot to tell you. It does not work on Instagram. I apologize. Usually I'm on it.
Can't figure it out. Everybody needs to up their game.
I've been slacking on that, the Instagram thing. We'll try. You know what? I have one more week worth of work, and then we go on our big RC tour for 4 weeks. So I can't wait. So definitely we're going to have Cowtech live on the road again.
Cool.
As you guys know, yeah, we've had it in the past. Sometimes it goes good. Sometimes it doesn't go so good. We'll see. I think that I have a Wi-Fi amplifier, and I have a little mini cellular tower amplifier for the camper now. So we should be okay no matter where we roll
up in your game.
But we got to try, man. We got to try. But great night tonight, guys. You will be seeing us again in 2 short weeks. We are going to be talking more about the gauntlet. Hopefully, we will talk about this secret package I got right here, and maybe a little bit more micro action.
Yeah.
You will have to tune in live to see what is going on. I will cut you guys loose for tonight and see you in 2 short weeks. Episode 60 already.
See you, everybody.
See ya.